Hi everyone, am I audible? Okay. Okay, so in the last class, I think we have discussed about Jupyter Notebook, right? How to install Jupyter Anaconda and then how to use Jupyter Notebook. I have shared one video, the link, right? Jupyter Notebook tutorial with everyone. In case anyone joined today newly, today is the first class, let me know. You can ping your email address in the chat window. I will share with you the video, right? So I told you to go through Jupyter Notebook tutorial. I hope you have gone through. Today we will be discussing about VS Code and we will be discussing about the software installation part, right? Monday onwards, we'll start with the core Python part. Quickly, I will explain you about core Python and then we will move to other topics, right? Okay. Let me quickly summarize again. So Jupyter Notebook, I think few of you are new. Like today is your first class. I will share with you the recording. Please wait for some time. I will add you to the drive, right? So once you have installed Jupyter, once you have installed Anaconda, you can go and maybe you can search for Jupyter Notebook. In Windows system, you can search Jupyter Notebook and you will get it. In other system, like in Mac and in Linux, you have to go to your terminal and then you have to type Jupyter space notebook. Here also you can go to your Anaconda prompt and type Jupyter space notebook and you can open. Also from this window of like start menu, you can search for Jupyter and you can click on open. So once this window is opening, you can see, I think some of you have joined the GitHub class where I have shown you. So this is like AWS SageMaker. I have shown you, right? The platform that you have seen, there is Jupyter Lab, which is very similar to Jupyter Notebook. So once you have clicked on this Jupyter Notebook, this window will open. Okay, this will open. And what is this? This is a kind of the local host. You can say this is localhost. This ID is very different than any ID that you have seen so far. Why? Because it allows both code and markdown. What is markdown? Markdown is a HTML kind of language where using markdown, you can do a lot of things. Like you can, if you want to know more about markdown, you can just go to Google. There is a very good website, right? So you can go to markdown guide and you can go through this. You can understand what is markdown and how. Just click on get started. So you will understand how to write nice documentation. For example, if you want to add headers, you want to add basically bullet points, ordered list 1, 2, 3, 4. You can go through, right? So this is very much similar to HTML. So a lot of things that you do in HTML, you can write markdown, right? So the advantage of Jupyter Notebook is, yes, obviously you can write Python code and you can execute, but also it supports markdown. Now, why it is helpful, right? Why markdown is important? Maybe I can show you some of the example. Data science projects are full of visualization. So let's say this is one of the project, right? See, this is something which I was talking about. So this is called markdown. And it's not only code. You can see this is, if I just click on this, you can see I have written hash and then something. And you can see here it is markdown. If I just run this, you can see this output. So don't worry about markdown. I think in the video I have explained. But what I mean to tell you is not only Python code, you can write complete documentation. So you can write headings. You can see these are the bullet points. So star, 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 if you write, it will like, if you run this markdown, it will be bullet points, right? You can see there is a horizontal line here. And for that, I have just written line and then double star. So double star. So what I mean to tell you is a lot of things. Here you can see from here to here. If I just select, you can see it is changing to code. So there are options, code, markdown, heading. So if you are writing markdown, you can select markdown and run. Write the markdown syntax and run it. It will execute. If you want to run Python code, you can switch it to code mode and then run it. Jupyter is not only for Python. You can write your Julia code. You can write your R code. In fact, you can write your Scala code. Okay, so it is like, it supports a lot of languages, but mostly it is useful. It's famous for Python, but you can use for any other language, right? That is the advantage of Jupyter. And I told you for hit and trial purpose, it is very good. Why? You can see the code, just you can write the code and you can see the output below it. In VS Code, yes, you can see the output in the terminal, but you can also feel the difference. Even if I'm just showing you the code and output, it is good, but still I will prefer this way, right? Where it is like output. So complete output you can see. It is very good for visualization. So I can show you some maybe graphs. So for example, this graph, when you are running this code in Jupyter, in VS Code, you will see this graph maybe in an image format. But here you can see here only. Clearly you can see. So Jupyter Notebook is very well known ID, especially among data scientists, data analysts, and MLOPS, data engineers. Why? Because lot of trial and error you can do. Once your code is finalized, so see, this is called final code, but it's not a one-day code, right? You have to do a lot of trial and error, and then you will write. For example, let's say this. It's not good for web development, but if you're dealing with any machine learning applications, machine learning project, Jupyter Notebook always is good. A lot of hit and trial you can do, you can see the output and all that, right? This is all about your introduction. So you need to understand, line by line execution. Yeah, go ahead.
Ma'am, this one, like Jupyter, especially like these kind of the graphs for small code, we cannot see in VS Code.
No. You can see it, but in an image format. Like here, you can see, right? And I'll tell you one more advantage.
Okay.
So VS Code, you can only share your code in Python format, .py extension.
Okay.
Here, let's say you just want to share your code with your manager who is a kind of leadership member and he has no Python installed. Just can share it in HTML format, right? Let me save it. And anywhere anyone can open. So if I just scroll through your code, everything, whatever you have done, I can see.
Okay.
Right? And this is not there in VS Code or any other IDE. You cannot share your code in HTML.
Okay.
Right? So you really no need to prepare presentation for your code.
Okay.
You can, so there is an option. You can hide the code, only the output you can show. And
so
let's say you have option for downloading in PDF format also. Python file also. Create slide out of it. Let's try this. Right?
So in real time, both are used always.
Yes. So this is in a slide format. See?
Oh, yeah.
So that is the advantage. And I'm not saying this is the best IDE and it's the only IDE. No, VS Code is very good and Jupyter. So both are good. You should know both. Okay. Okay. Now you understood about the introduction part. Why I'm telling you so much about this. This is one of the most used IDE, especially in machine learning, data science, artificial intelligence related project, right? Where you need to do a lot of trial and error before you jump into some conclusion, right? And lots of visualization, lot of charts, statistical analysis you need to do. Okay. Now, what is the next thing? Here it is file option. You can create, you can go to, you want copy, you can make a copy. You want to open new Python file in home. There are options. So new, and then you can select Python 3 means it will open a new Python notebook. Here you can write your code. If you're writing Python code, it will automatically change the mode to code mode and how to execute, shift enter, or simply you can execute this code by clicking this run and you can see the output, right? So all of these things you can do. Yes. And I think one thing that you should remember, I think it is already there in the video, but it is very important point. There's an option called save and checkpoint. So what is this? What is this all about? So this will help you for your code recovery. It's a kind of taking snapshot. If you don't click this also, by default, Jupyter will save your file, but not every time. Last time it has saved 2046. Now it is 2047. So when it has saved last time? Just 1 minute back, right? But let's say you have done some development work and you think like it's very important, I should save it. Better you click on this save and checkpoint, or you come here and click on this save and checkpoint, Control S. So manually, if you click this, what happened is checkpoint is created at this point. So let's say something happened, server crashed or your Jupyter notebook crashed, but you can always go back to the previous checkpoint. So the code development work that you have done till 2047, Friday 26 January till here, your code is saved. You can come till this level. So this is one good point. So I think this is important. And why Jupyter Notebook is even more powerful? Jupyter Notebook is very good, but there is one problem. Can anybody guess what is the problem? This is very good, but what is the problem with this kind of framework? Any guess? And what is the, like, you can compare VS Code, you can see VS Code, and you can see this framework. So what, there are a lot of advantage, but what is the disadvantage? If you look at this both, what?
Maybe it cannot compile big script file.
More than one script. One script
Oh,
is fine. Yes.
okay.
So if one script, then I think it's fine. So you can write your script, look at your output. But normally when we're dealing with product, we don't have only one script, right? We have front end, we have back end, right? We have machine learning code, we have deployment code. So when you have multiple folder structure, inside each folder, you have a lot of files. It's a complicated framework. Jupyter is not a good thing. Why? Because every time you have to come here folder and then one by one, you can see the framework and understand the difference. Whereas in VS Code, you can see, and very easily you can control it. The Git integration is very easy with VS Code. So a lot of advantage. So that is the kind of major drawback of Jupyter, and hence there is a solution. What is the solution? Solution is Jupyter Lab. So keeping in mind the drawbacks, the solution is Jupyter Lab. Jupyter Lab, inside every notebook, inside Jupyter Lab, each notebook is Jupyter Notebook, but you can see a complete folder structure. If you're really working in a project where there are a lot of scripts, instead of Jupyter Notebook, you should go with Jupyter Lab. You can easily integrate your code with Git. There are a lot of extension you can download. So Jupyter Lab is the solution for this problem. Again, it's not coming with Anaconda, so you have to download it separately. How to download? Pip install Jupyter Lab. You go to your Anaconda prompt. Search for Anaconda prompt. And here you can type pip install Jupyter Lab. Right? So in my system already Jupyter Lab is present. Requirement already satisfied. You can see. But in case if it is not there, it will download and you will get your Jupyter Lab. Once it is done, I will show you. I will open and show you. And you will never use Jupyter Notebook. Always you will use either Jupyter Lab or VS Code. Right? So I'll open it once it is opened, I'll show you. So this is a Jupyter Lab. Right? Now what is the benefit? The benefit is, let me open any folder, you will understand, right? So let me see. Let's say this is my this is my project folder, okay? And I just want to open it here. Anyways, so here you can like create a new folder, or you can also upload from here, right? So you can upload any folder. Let's say this is the folder. And the advantage is you can either upload from here, giving the relative path, or you can directly create a folder, and inside that all the files will be saved. Let's say this is my new folder, right? This is my new folder. Let's say this is. Yeah, 1 second. So you can click on this plus symbol. I think there is some build problem. So you can click on this new folder, right? It's a new folder. But if you want to open new folder, open from path or open from URL. So you can open from path relative root. So whatever is the root folder path that you can give, right? So till here. Why it is not opening, maybe some issue. But what I mean to tell you is, if you open any folder, so you will see it's a very much lot of extension you need to download. So you can come here and you can install Jupyter Lab Plotly. So Plotly code you can see in Jupyter Lab. Lot of GitHub extension you can download, and lot of extension you can download. I still feel like VS Code is much better than Jupyter Lab. But having said that, people who are core data scientists by heart, right? They don't do any web development work. Mostly they're into, my favorite is VS Code and Jupyter Notebook. Because once you start using VS Code, you will love it, right? You will never use any other IDE. But what I do is, for trial and error purpose anyway, here also it is Jupyter Notebook, right? So I use Jupyter Notebook for trial and error. And when it comes to deployment, I go to VS Code because I already know the final code. I have seen the charts and graphs and everything. So then I take it to VS Code. So that is my approach. But normally many people, they also use Jupyter Lab, and Jupyter Lab is very similar to Jupyter Notebook. You can come here, you can upload, and you can create your folder here, plus and upload, and here also upload files one by one. You create an empty folder, new folder. Let's say this is project 1, right? I'm just giving a name. And in this project 1, inside this, you can either upload, let's say I just want to upload from here till here, right? All the files I want to upload. So you can see this is my project folder, which is created. And then I can actually run, like, let's say this is the file. So this is one script. So what is the advantage? There are certain advantage over Jupyter Notebook alone. And obviously, this is much more advanced than Jupyter Notebook. What is the one example I can show you? Let's say I just want, I'll just say, let's say deploy.py. I want this file to be opened side to side. So there is an option. Where is that? You can click on here and open to side. Where is that option? Where is that option? I have
New browser tab maybe.
no, not browser tab. I just want to open side to side. 1 second. I have not used Jupyter Lab since many days. There's an option, create console, rename, new view. Yes, new view. This is what.
Yeah.
So you can see what will happen is here one. So if you have, here you will not feel the difference. If you have a monitor, right, you can see the difference. So one is the top and one is the down. And the very great thing is that whatever changes you are doing here, you can actually see it is reflecting in the entire code. Are you getting? So this is very helpful feature. I feel like this is really helpful. And not only 2, 3, 4 views you can open. So this is really helpful if you have a very big script. This is 2,000, 3,000 lines of code. So normally what you do in Jupyter Notebook is what you will do. It's a very irritating thing, right? You will scroll. Like this you will do. For example, you are here, okay? You forgot the data frame name. What you will do? You'll scroll up and then search, okay, oh, this is the name. And then you will scroll down. This is not there. You can just keep one view, top view, and this is current section where you are working. This is the top section, and you can actually open one more view. You can see new view for Python file. So 3 views. And if you have a very big screen, you will see the difference. So are you getting? So this is very helpful feature, which is not there. So once you use Jupyter Lab, I think you will feel like using it. You will forget about Jupyter Notebook. Actually, it is Jupyter Notebook with some advanced feature. And it is no problem if you are working with multiple scripts also. It's not a problem. It's very good like VS Code. And a lot of extension you can download. And in fact, once you install this in extension, it is debugger. There is no debugger in Jupyter. So here you can install debugger. So you can debug your code. Check a lot of things you can do. These are the small things, but it matters, right? Very small thing, but it matters. Actually, there is one more package I have used long back, 6 months back, pipeline. So you can just write the code, and based on your code dependency, it will create a pipeline structure, right? For example, this code, this script is calling this script. This script is dependent on this script. So normally in real time, we struggle, right? We have to go through every script. Let's say you have joined the company today. I have given you a product code, which is of like 13 script. What you need to do, every script one by one, you have to go. What if somebody will tell you the path? You start with run.py. In the run.py, it is calling ML project. In ML project, it is calling, let's say, train.py. In train.py, it is calling data.py. Are you getting? So this thing is very important. So complete dependency structure you can create. There is a package in Jupyter Lab. I'll tell you the name, I forgot. Just you need to install it, extension, and you will completely, no need to do anything. Just run the code and it will automatically create the dependency. There are a lot of advantage. I mean, it's very less time to explain you, but once you start using it, you will understand. It's a very different idea as compared to any other. I think you got an overview at very high level. You got an idea, right? Any doubts so far? Okay, so
basically we'll be using VS Code and Jupyter Lab, these two
yes,
together.
yes.
Lab.
VS Code and Jupyter Lab.
Okay.
My approach, I will tell you, and it's personal choice. There is no mandatory rule. Whatever is convenient, whatever is you think it's good, you can use that. But if you suggest for any kind of data science related thing that you're doing, for example, this train.py or something, you use Jupyter Lab. Any kind of web development or final version of the code, because one problem, in fact, in VS Code also you have Jupyter Notebook. You can open your VS Code inside also, you can open Jupyter Notebook. But what I mean to tell you is VS Code is wonderful code, but it is very good for web development. Why? Web development, you write the code and you see the output in a browser. In data science, you're not looking at your output in browser. You are basically creating charts, graphs, statistical analysis, a lot of things you're creating, and it is fine. You can see it in the window, in the terminal. Sometimes it will generate images, but I really don't like, I think it is not, once you are using Jupyter Lab, Jupyter Notebook, you will feel like not so good, right? The look, you will not like it. So for data science applications, you use Jupyter Lab. For any kind of hit and trial thing that you want to do in data science, you use Jupyter Lab. But finally, when you are doing web development or you are taking your code to production level, writing the final script, writing packages, and pushing the code to GitHub, pulling the code and all that thing, you move it to VS Code. So both actually you should use. Okay. Okay. Linkage in file, yes. I think everything is available in everywhere. In fact, there is no comparison. VS Code is a next level. Jupyter Lab is next level. Both has its own advantage, disadvantage. The purpose of creating VS Code is general editor, but Jupyter Lab is specific to data science. right? So very good for data science related hit and trial, but VS Code is also very, very good. So it's your choice. Now coming back to VS Code, right? What you need to do, very simple. You need to just go to the website. VS Code will not come with Anaconda, so you have to install it separately. Very simple installation. You just go to the site and download VS Code, right? You go and then based on your operating system, Windows, Linux or Mac, you download VS Code. Once you have downloaded VS Code, what you need to do is just need to click next. And if it is Mac, you know how to install, drag and drop, and Windows, Linux, anywhere you can install it. Once it is installed, you can just open it. It's just an application. So there are certain extensions that you can use. The first extension is Prettify, right? Prettier and also Prettify, both are same, almost same. So what is this? Prettier is a code formatter. So you can see in VS Code, some of the things are in blue, some of the things are in red. So all of those things are coming because of this Prettier, Prettify, right? So basically it's a code formatter. It's very good package. There is one more called Live Server. Basically, if you are dealing with this web development, and sometime your office laptop, because of firewall issue, sometime it will not open. So Live Server is really good if you are mostly working with web development related thing, right? IntelliCode API, so autocomplete, right? Not IntelliCode API, there is one more, IntelliCode, right? So extension provides AI-assisted development features for Python. So autocomplete, you write half and half of the code automatically code recommendation. So it's really useful. You can install this IntelliCode. You can come here and search for the package. For example, I want to install IntelliCode. So it will display. If it is installed, it will not show you option, but if it is not installed, can you see install option? It will show. Click on install and it will install. Right? So like that, there's certain extension for your better coding. You can actually install Docker. If you're working with Docker, you can install Docker. Prettier. Python is mandatory. Yes. So this is one of the things that this is mandatory. Python, the first thing that you need to do after you have downloaded VS Code and you have installed it, the first extension that you will install is Python. Okay. Search here Python, and this Python you have to install by Microsoft. So this thing you have to install. Otherwise, Python you cannot run. So basically, it is mandatory. So once you have installed Python, you have a lot of other good packages. If you want, you can install. So for example, Rainbow CSV, it will, if you have some data, so if you install this Rainbow CSV, it will color your CSV files. So lot of extensions are there. GitHub Copilot. So GitHub Copilot is not free. It is a paid one. But if you have the subscription, then you can install it. So it is autocomplete. So for example, I'll show you one. Here is an example. See, can you see autocomplete? So you just write the definition. See, this is interesting. I'll show you. Just write the definition, what exactly you want to do. Let's say common prefix. The logic is automatically done. So this is magic. But this is not free. GitHub Copilot, you can integrate with Jupyter Lab also. Everywhere it is available. In fact, ChatGPT also you can API if you have this this thing, right? Paid version, so you can use that also. So I think GitHub Copilot I have used. It's not free. I think 1200 or 1600 something. But it is like once you have installed, you can use it. So a lot of extensions like this you can install. And after that, it is very simple. You can just, let's say you want to execute any code. So let's say this is my Python code, home.py. I just want to execute. You can go and run. It will not allow you to run if you don't have Python. Make sure you have Python. So you can go and then execute. I'll talk about virtual environment, how to create virtual environment and all that, maybe on Monday's class. But normally what you can do is just write your code and then execute it. Here is the run command. You can see the output here in the terminal. If you have any problem, you can see the problem here. Debug you can do. So this is the code, the layout. You can change the layout going to view, appearance, editor layout. So how you want to do 2 columns, 3 columns, 2 rows, 3 rows. You can try this. A lot of things are there, right? You can, what you want to skip, what you want to keep, everything you can adjust. More on this, eventually you will understand when we run. Okay. Yes. So I am more inclined towards VS Code, but more data scientists, they are inclined towards Jupyter Lab. Yes, that's right. Okay. So fine. So this is all about your VS Code, and I think there's something called virtual environment. Doesn't matter VS Code or PyCharm. There is one more ID, by the way, if somebody wants to explore. You can explore PyCharm. It's a great ID, especially for Python programming. Only one thing which I did not like is very specific to Python. If you like, PyCharm will work only for Python language, not for any. So what will happen is we don't know, right? So if you have to work, for example, in my case, I have R and Python both in my team. If you are working with MLOPS, sometimes Java, Scala, Python. So if it is more than one language, PyCharm will not work. So better to go with VS Code. It is universal. You can run C++, Python, Java, Scala, whatever you want, you can execute. And anyway, if it is very specific to data science, you have Jupyter Lab. So my favorite is Jupyter Lab and VS Code, but many people also use PyCharm who are explicitly into Python. Okay. Okay. I think we need to install Docker later. Rest all softwares are done. So we have Anaconda, we have VS Code, Jupyter Notebook, Jupyter Lab. Eventually, when you start using, you will be comfortable with everything. Anyone has gone through the video that I have shared, Jupyter Notebook tutorial? Anyone has gone through? Gone through, right? So you understood about Markdown, right? Right? Yes. So if not,
which video shared? I didn't know.
okay. So I think 2 people, Ram and Satish, right? So I have shared, I'm sharing the video right now. I have shared Jupyter Notebook tutorial. Last class when we have connected.
Oh
right?
yeah.
So I have shared, yes. I think you missed the class, no problem. I will share it now. Again, I will share the link, right, with everyone, so you can go through it.
Yeah, I downloaded last time also, but I didn't see actually.
Yeah. Please see that.
Okay.
It's important.
Okay.
I'm just again pasting the link. Please copy the link, right? I'm planning to start my YouTube channel. I'm planning to start. Why? Because there are a lot of common topics people are requesting, like SQL and then Power BI and then Python in depth. So I think that will really help you, especially Python. I will start. The first playlist will be Python, right? And you can go through core Python in detail. I will be taking class, no problem. From scratch, I will take, but mostly for non-technical people, if you have never seen programming before, it will be a little challenging for you. So please go through either Durga sir's Python recording, which is very in-depth and from scratch. Or else you can maybe go through my recording, right? but I will suggest go with Durga sir if you're non-technical, because he really started from scratch, right? Okay. So, fine. So, what is the next thing that we will do, right? When you connect on Monday, so we will be starting with core Python. Anything that you want to ask today, because today is the last demo class. Any question, anything that you want to ask? We are all good, right? Kushal, you have any question?
How is the job market on this data science? Sasmitha?
The job market for entire IT is very bad. Leave about data science. Many of my friends, they are searching job, layoffs are happening. It's not good.
But why?
Why? Because there are a lot of reasons. First thing is they have done a lot of hiring during COVID time, and now they're regretting because of this COVID time, right? A lot of things has been digitalized and hiring was like exponentially. They have hired so many people, but they don't have that much work. That's the real problem. And second thing, it's a trend, cost cutting. Even though companies are, for example, I'll give you an example. You must have heard about Paytm, 1,000 people laid off. If you look at Paytm's profit quarterly, it is like exponentially growing, right? It's not like, Paytm, everyone is aware
Yeah,
of Paytm, right? It's not making loss. We know we
yeah,
are internal employees, so it is making a lot of profit. Still they laid off. So what is the cause? Because they want cost cutting. And it's a trend. Everyone is laying off. So they are just thinking if we can also do that, we will save some money, and they're trying to automate using AI. The hard truth is human is human. So AI is very nice, very good, but you cannot really replace a lot of, I mean, you can replace maybe instead of 10, you can replace maybe 3, 4 team members, and then rest 2, 3, you can use AI. But AI has a lot of problem in real time. It's good when you look at AI applications, all of this advertisement and a lot of things, but real time, you have to deal with real people. Are you getting? So code generation is not a big deal. Even if you are creating this chart, AI will generate this chart. Fine, but who will? There are a lot of challenges. As I said, I cannot tell you, but in real time, there are a lot of challenges. I think a human is needed to interact with customers, to interact with client, to explain them about your product, to explain them if your product is failing, to find the cause, to retrain the model, right? So lot of things are there, but it is good or bad, I don't know. Maybe economy is also down. Lot of wars are going on in the lot of external factors, right? It's not only AI, but everywhere war is going on. Growth rate is going down, right? US market is down. So lot of reasons. Overall, if you ask me, stability matters more than package in 2000, at least in this year or maybe next year. If you are in a place where you are stable, you think your company is stable, you should not leave your job, because you will switch your job because of some hike, and in the new company, if it is a startup or it is not very stable, there is a chance that they may lay you off, right? It's not because of you might be a very good. I'll explain you. One of my friend, he got the high performing person in my team, and he got a lot of awards, and next day his entire team got laid off. So it's not your fault, especially if you're working in product based company. It is the product, right? When you are going to leadership level, you will understand VP and then other very. So what they will do is they will not. It's not individual, okay? It's never individual. It's about a product. It's about a team. So we'll see. Okay, product 1, is it generating an impact? Product 2, is it generating an impact? No. Scrap product 2. Scrap means what? Stop. Stop product 2. Means what? All the people who are in product 2 will be impacted. So what will happen? Either you have to switch your job internally or you have to search outside. They'll give you a very good severance package and then they'll let you go. So that is what happening. So, I mean, if you're asking me, the market is not good. Because I'm very confidently saying, because many of my friends are in US, I help them getting job. And they got trained under me, and it never happened. Like every month they used to get 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 calls. Now it is very rare. If they get a call, it's like once in a month, 15 days in a month, they're getting a call. So are you getting? So the market is very good for data related jobs, artificial intelligence related jobs, cyber security related jobs. But if you look at the overall market, it is not good. And being an AI specialist, I am saying the market is not good even for AI people. I'm not saying not at all good, but if you compare the previous years versus this year's, I can see the difference. If I used to get 10 calls in 2016, 17, 18, 19, maybe that number of call is reduced to 3 or 4. That is the situation. So stability matters.
How's job market for Java?
See, I said, already I have explained. So job market is, I'm not saying it will always be like this, okay?
Yeah.
Maybe it will be good in eventually. Maybe end of this year or next year, 2025, quarter 1, quarter 2, maybe it will be good. In 2023, you have seen, you have seen LinkedIn, right? A lot of layoffs. Every company is laying off. So you have to be extraordinarily well. You have to take your job seriously. And all the people, top performers, like if you know more than job, you should focus on upgrading yourself, skill, right? You have to upgrade yourself continuously. You have to learn new skills so that even if you are your company is laying you up, then you can get a job easily if you are relevant.
One thing I want to ask, like just a general question, like usually everyone says that in a IT company, developers are more given focus, and whenever layoff starts, people like who are manager or business kind of people, they are laid off first. But I've not seen like this, that those people are very smart and always developers are laid off. Why?
Correct.
Why is like that?
That trend is like slowly changing, because I am not a very senior level person like 18, 20, 25 years, but you can see mid senior level. Maybe my experience is total 11 years only, 11 to 12 years. With this experience, I'm getting managerial role. Trust me, every role that I'm getting, they're asking IC, individual contributor. I'm very happy with that. I don't want to manage team, and I'm escaping somehow from that manager role. But the trend, I believe the trend is changing. So there is no role where only you will do management work or basically people management. It's mixed, right?
Actually, I want to tell something about this. Like in my company, so
I
have a
understand.
team lead.
I'll tell you
I
my
have a
story.
team.
I'll
I
tell
have
you
team
my
lead.
story.
He does not do anything at all. Like he just when he joined, uh, he simply refused that don't assign any ticket to me, and he just simply take the status in the morning. That's it. Whole day sitting empty. Does not do any kind of ticket.
See, I'll tell you, everywhere things are like that. So every company, if you look at my LinkedIn profile, you'll be surprised how many company I have changed. And because I'm very honest, I'm straightforward, I believe in performance, I believe in work, but things are not like that. A lot of politics happened in real time, and people who will not do the work will take the credit, right? And they will, a lot of things are happening. So we cannot change that. We can change only ourselves. cannot change the situation. We have two options, either to adjust or to leave. I believe in leaving than adjusting if I'm not happy. That's the reason I'm leaving. But situation is I am also afraid of leaving, because nowadays a lot of less stability matters. For example, I'll give you a real time example. In my team, five people knows Python and 5 people know R. You tell me
Okay.
what is the trend outside Python, right?
Yeah.
Everyone is going after Python. But because my manager, he doesn't know Python. He's giving whatever work we are showing, he's saying no. Why? Because if he approves, then everyone has to learn Python and he needs some time to learn Python. So everyone is playing their game. I'm not blaming my manager.
Yeah.
The thing is, everyone wants to save their position. So you have to be smart enough to save your position, right? It's a game. And you are true. So people who know, I mean, not only hard work, but smart work matters in today's world. You have to be visible. Ask yourself if your manager's manager knows you.
Can I
If yes,
talk to my team lead's manager or in the team any senior people that they should try to make my team lead also to perform individual contributor to
those
or
things
not?
are behavioral thing. I cannot guide you on that. Here we are for discussing the technical things. Those are, I think, a lot of behavioral things you need to understand in real time, which is, that's why I tell you it's not always about coding. Real time is much more above than coding. You have to tackle politics, you have to handle pressure, you have to, your manager will be telling one thing, manager's manager will be telling one thing. You have to resolve conflict. Team members, they will not support you because of their own insecurities. So you have
Actually,
to.
actually, my team lead does not understand the technical things also. Sometimes I feel he, he has a fake experience. He does
No,
not
no, it's
understand
not
at
you.
all.
Like lot of the managers, they don't. They're insecure because they are not competent enough. Their junior members are knowing more than them. Hence, they will see. I believe if a person is technically strong, I have worked with many technically strong managers. They never try to discourage. Like if a person is technically sound, they will
Yeah,
always encourage. A
yeah,
person who is not technically sound, they will play politics. So you
yeah.
have two options in those cases. Sometimes, some cases you cannot really change your manager because that is sometimes not in your power. You will try to adjust, otherwise you leave. That I believe in that. You are staying means you follow. Otherwise, you don't like, you switch. I mean, that's the only option.
But can't I talk like raise the issue like I don't get any kind of functional or technical input from my team lead regarding anything, and he is not
I
able to
cannot comment
approve
you
the
on that,
request
Vikram.
also.
Yeah, I cannot comment you on that. Maybe your HR can help. Please reach out to them.
So
And
I'm always scared of these things, talking to HR because HR is only the puppet of the senior managers only.
I will tell you my situation. So maybe you can take an example. Entire UI I have designed. It took me around 2 months of time to create the layouts and everything, right?
Mhm.
And my manager told me to share the code in GitHub. I have shared. And the next day in one-on-one meeting, my manager is telling the junior member has done everything. So I said what he has done. So UI he has developed and code Python, the ML code also he has developed. I got surprised when looking at his code. Entire UI he has copy pasted input output. Instead of my code, he has pasted his ML code, which has been developed by somebody else. So technically he has not developed anything. Riveting. He
Yeah,
took my UI code. He took the ML code from another team member. He joined together and he took the credit. In that case, I fought. I explained because my manager did not understand the technical things. Like your manager, he doesn't know Dash, he doesn't know Plotly. If somebody knows the code, then only they will understand your code, isn't it? So he doesn't
yeah,
understand. He's from our background, right? He doesn't understand any Dash, Plotly. So he thought he had. So I have made my manager understand one by one
yeah.
line. I have make him understand. I have created a kind of team call. Everyone, I have presented my. So you have to voice. Your voice should be visible. Otherwise, these kind of things will happen. Not with you, Bikram. With everyone, it happens. have to smartly handle it. You have to tell 100 times, not one time, that this I have done, this I have done, this is my work. And I used to tell it is very easy. I mean, because the things are very easy, but I have seen people are just because my manager doesn't know much about technical things, they will write very small code and they will tell, this is so hard. I have worked entire weekend to complete this. So they'll show up like they're only working. So what I am doing right now is I will work for 4 hours, but I will tell I have worked all the weekend. It took 5 days for me to complete, to design one page. Are you getting? So you have to be smart enough. So what you will do? Because people are telling like that.
Yeah, but
So
yeah, actually, your manager at least knows something. But my manager does not know anything. He just knows politics. He does not want to come to office
you have
because
to play the game.
if
You
if
have to play
someone
the game.
if someone sees his laptop, he's scared of someone not seeing his laptop because one day he was watching some basic Java videos.
And I have seen one more thing.
He
So
does
you will
not
be
even understand
surprised.
basic return statement of a function. Like uh,
So
I
there is
don't
a
know.
team who is developing Power BI dashboards using R. Okay. So my manager always, my manager is from their team. They are in a team for last 5 years because I joined this team very newly, company also 2 months back. So obviously they will not trust me. I am a new member. But all the presentation that I'm showing about the UI, let's say this time I have added a heat map where I'm showing multicolored. Same chart I will see in the Power BI. So basically what they're doing is entire design they're copying in Power BI. Are you getting? So that I found, that's why. So I cannot like, are you getting? So all of these things are happening and they're changing requirement. That is again another problem. Today they will tell one thing. Day after tomorrow they'll say, when we said this, we have not said this. We told you this. You have done this. So then I started writing a email, right? I started creating a plan. This date I will do that. I made them agree. I said, until unless you approve this design document, I will not start my work. You have to approve. And you cannot change your requirement until I finish it. Are you getting? So you have to be smart enough. And then, so a lot of things. If my manager is not listening to me, worst case, what option I have? I will change the company. What I will do? So that's the reason. Okay. So happened everywhere. So you have to be smart. Smart and you have to be visible. Don't be
Actually,
invisible.
my team lead is like, he does not even have local application set up in his machine. So he's smart in this way that he will never have to sit in front of the laptop. He's simply working on his mobile only. He
Okay,
has
that's I
deliberately
think
not done
okay.
any kind of setup because if someone asks him to share the screen, no one will ask him to share the screen also because he does not have even laptop in the
See, I believe
local
in one
setup.
thing. I have worked in many good organization. I have worked in many good people. I have worked in uh, very talented. When I was in GS, I have seen people like who are author of Python packages that you're working with, right? I am so surprised when I shared outlet detection isolation forest. If you have heard about it, the creator of isolation forest is my colleague in GS. So those level people I have worked with. And I have learned a lot of things in good company, work like the talent wins. In poor company or poor team where the manager themselves they don't know, they don't have vision, the politics wins. And in those situations, you have to choose what you want: stability over politics or politics. So different priorities. So for me, I have a small baby. I really don't care who is thinking what. For me, stability matters. I'm not crazy about money or something. Are you getting? But maybe after 5 years, when my baby is big enough, I will not be compromised with politics. Now I am okay. I don't want to fight with my manager because if I fight, what will happen? You know what will happen. I don't have that power. And stability is not there outside. I'm getting work from home, a lot of flexibility. I'm okay. They want our, what is my problem? Whatever you are telling, I will do it. Are you getting? So different people have different priorities. You have to be smart enough. I think every company, wherever you go, politics will never leave you. Every company has their own politics. If you really want to work, you work with very good organization. I have never seen any politics wins in any fintech company. No. Performance. In GS, everybody, no politics, only performance. If you're not performing well, you will be laid off, not because of politics. No scope. But I have seen a lot of companies where politics wins. So you have to be smart enough. Company important, politics important, work satisfaction important, package important. What is important? Accordingly, you should act. We are all actors. Package important, manager you have to support. Not work satisfaction important, leave the company. Go for a good culture instead of package. So you have to balance. So I think anyway, it's going in a different direction, but I think any doubt, anything related to the course. So this will happen. So any domain you go, if you're asking job market overall, it is very good for AI.
So,
Having said AI
Sasmitha,
versus AI, if you compare, it is not so great. But overall, if you compare other jobs versus AI, then I think every role is AI, cybersecurity, all the development roles are shifting towards data engineering, data analytics side, right? Because of the hype.
Sasmitha, if there is a gap of 9 months, I have total 12.5. Will be there any problem?
How many total years of experience you have?
12.5. Recently, I got laid off around 9 months now. No, on GCP data engineer. I want to learn this.
Okay.
Will there be any
there is no
problem?
problem. There is no problem as such because do you have any gaps before or it's the first time?
First time.
Okay. See, I will suggest you one thing. Don't sit idly. You try to do something, maybe freelancing or maybe pay cut and join some company, right? Lot of gaps is not good. You have to justify later. Having said that, I mean, you don't have any option. You got laid off, so you're trying your best to get another job.
Yes.
So don't fix one thing, one domain. So whatever you're getting, you get it. So you are having experience in data engineering. You also try for MLOPS, data engineering, learn AWS, utilize this time in learning and apply for multiple roles. Whatever you're getting, you go with it. Because once you are in job, later you can switch whenever market is good, right? You can easily take courses and change your CV and show some experience related to what you want. But sitting without a job is really not so good. Are you getting any job later?
Actually, I got selected for 4 companies, but offer is not rolled out. So that is not my problem, right?
See, I understand. So I think in that case, you choose work over package. If you are
Also,
asking my
I'm asking below standards only now, but I'm not getting offers.
yeah. So see, it is. I mean, it is okay. 1 or 2 years you can manage, but try as soon as possible to get a job.
So this
And
course
data
is for
engineering.
this course is for 75 days, right?
Yes, this course is for 75 days, but you start appearing for interviews from day 1. Even if you are rejected, still you will get a lot of experience, right? You will understand the pattern of interview. So by the time you are actually ready, you will be knowing what they will ask. Accordingly, are you getting? Don't worry about rejection. Try for applying. Prepare a nice, okay, for everyone, my suggestion is, even if you don't know many things, first of all, you prepare your CV, a nice CV. Let's say you are applying for MLOps. So prepare a MLOps CV, data science, prepare a data science CV and apply. It is obvious that you will be rejected, no problem. You are going for that interview so that you will know the pattern. Once you have attended 4 to 5 interviews, you will know the pattern. And accordingly, you will also be, when the course will be finished, you will be knowing the topics. You have already attended few interviews. You know what they will ask and you know the concept. After that only you will succeed. So don't assume that in the first or second attempt you will be succeed. No, at least 6 months you can take. You are lucky if you're getting a job in first or second attempt, but normally it will take 3 to 4 attempts. Don't get disappointed. That's what I'm saying. 3 to 4 attempts at least you should give yourself. Right?
So if I join
And
this course,
CV,
will you support on that?
let us discuss that later, right? Support and all. I'll talk about it. Maybe if possible, if not me, I can reference some people who can support you, right? I have some reference. Okay.
Sasmitha, I have one question. Since
Yeah.
I was reading this evening, I was just going through your first demo.
Your voice is not audible.
Audible now?
Yeah, yeah.
See, I was just going through with first demo video, and in that video, okay, you just mentioned like okay, the collect is the first step, then the cleaning is the next step, and then the build and validation, the deployment. So my question is, okay, it's related to data collect. So data collect in the sense, okay, I understood that okay, the data okay from a various sources and that will be collected in one common
Your
source.
voice is not so audible. Can you be a little louder?
Just a minute. Okay, how about now?
Yeah, it is better.
It's better, right? See,
Yeah.
my question is that okay, the data collect means okay, the data which is coming from the various source and which will be storing in a common location. Is that the right? My understanding is correct or something different? That's for my question.
Data collection in the sense, we are not data engineers and MLOps is not a data engineering course. Data engineering, if you are going with that, your primary job will be ETL, extraction, transformation and load. When I'm saying extraction, it's not like collecting from one source. Your data will be from different sources, collecting and storing it, maybe on cloud or maybe in data lake. But as a MLOps or data scientist or basically data analyst, you will collect the data already which is stored in proper format, right? Your data engineering team will give you access. It can be structured data, it can be unstructured data, it can be semi-structured data, means it can be tabular data like SQL or like your any kind of RDBMS data, Oracle, or it can be CSV Excel file which your client will provide, or it can be let's say text data. If you're building something text analytics project like ChatGPT or something, query bot, PDF document. Sometimes it is sentiment analysis. So data will be, you have to scrap the data from internet, maybe post, right? Comments, maybe video data. Data can be anything. So once you collect the data means you should know. One thing is storing data, extraction and storing. That is data engineering. Now, what is your task in data collection? You should know the right tool set to collect any kind, any variety, any kind of data. Means what? You should know, let's say PySpark to collect, let's say petabytes of data, or you should know Pandas to collect some MBs of CSV file, or you should know SQL to collect data from SQL table, or you should know NLP to collect data from web scraping tools like Selenium or something, which will help you to collect data from internet. Hence, you are a scientist about data. So any kind, any variety of data. Again, there are two varieties, batch and streaming. Sometimes if the data online platform, streaming way you are collecting, you should know Kafka, you should know a lot of streaming platform to collect the data. So data collection looks like a single word, but it's not so simple. Are you getting? Data can be in any format. You have to know a lot of things to collect the data. Normally, a data scientist means a particular area you are expert in. You cannot be expert in everything. People who are going with NLP, they are NLP engineers. There is a separate role. People who are mostly SQL and Pandas kind of tools, they know they are data scientists. They'll handle semi-structured, structured data. For unstructured data, we have specific roles. You will not get a job just like that in unstructured. You have to have a master's or PhD degree, right? Or at least relevant experience. Freshers don't get NLP, computer vision related roles. It needs specialization, right? Not a lot of things. But to start with, I think you can start as a data scientist because collecting semi-structured, structured data is easier. And then slowly in your organization, start doing projects based on NLP data, based on image data, video data, and you learn and you switch. Or you take a master's degree specialization and then switch. Riveting. So data collection, is it clear to you? So don't confuse with data extraction and collection. It's different.
Okay. Thank you.
So MLOps means you will collect the data. Data already will be stored. You should know the technique to collect. So take one simple example. I'll give you a table name. Can you collect data from that table if I give you all the required access? Yes or no? SQL table name, if I give you SQL user ID, password, everything, can you collect data? Yes or no? Yes. But my question is, who has created that database? Who has created the rules? Who have created the schema? Data engineer. That is not your headache. What is your headache? Give me table name, I will extract data. Select query. That's the difference. Is it clear, everyone? Data engineer, data scientist. Is it clear or doubt? So extraction and collection is different. Okay.
So that means, okay, this data will be in the cloud and
Yeah. Data can be anywhere. Data can be
from the
on cloud also
right?
nowadays. Yes, that's why people are also learning. So that's why I'm saying this. There is no ending. It's a very vast course. There is no end. But having said that, don't get scared. In real time, they don't ask you to be expert in everything, right? They will be very specific. MLOPS means tabular and semi-structured data, right? Mostly tabular means SQL and CSV, Excel, JSON, XML, this kind of files you will be dealing with, right? Mostly MLOPS means tabular and semi-structured data. So you should know SQL, you should know Pandas, and you should know PySpark. Then 99% of the interview you can clear. PySpark, Pandas, and what is that? SQL.
Okay,
Yes.
SQL, okay, what for that?
SQL, what you can learn, I can share documents in the WhatsApp group once it is created. Not everything, but with respect to MLOps, what level of SQL is needed. Very nice notes I have, I can share with everyone. And please go through those notes, right? Pandas I will cover in the class. PySpark, you can take my recordings. Okay.
Ma'am,
So
regarding ML algorithms, like till what depth and how many algorithms should we know, ma'am? Like if we want to face
we
the
will
interview.
cover, yes, good question. So we will cover 5 to 6 algorithm, every algorithm in depth. We will cover K-means clustering, decision tree, random forest, XGBoost, linear regression, logistic regression. These are the set of algorithm, 2 from regression, 2 from classification, and 1 or 2 from clustering. From every section, supervised, unsupervised, 2, 2, 3, 3, we will cover. And and from deep learning, we are going to cover one algorithm. And from
Okay, ma'am.
NLP also one project. So everything, whatever we will cover in depth.
Okay, ma'am. Like, does it fit into that 20 to 80%, or like knowing 20%, we can do 80% of the work? Like, does it fit into it?
No. In ML, it is 100%. So
Okay.
because the entire algorithm only, I will explain you. So complete math.
Okay, ma'am. Like,
Okay, so I think there
yes,
is nothing beyond that. So the algorithm is done means done, and then implementation.
sure,
So
ma'am. Like,
one thing is practice.
yes, ma'am.
So
Like, yes, sir. My doubt is somewhat different, ma'am. Like, I'm asking because, like, in SQL also there are so many queries and so many commands. Like, if we know at least, like, they are saying that 20% of the commands are required to do 80% of the daily work. So I'm asking in such a in that manner, ma'am. Uh, like,
see,
knowing everything is difficult, right? Like,
understood. Got your question. So you are correct. So the 6 algorithms that I am talking here, you remember, I will share the course content also. So random forest, decision tree, XGBoost, K-means clustering, linear regression, logistic regression. 99% of the institute syllabus, if you see, this is what they will keep. And in fact, in industry also, 100% of the project, whatever we are doing, is based on these algorithms. These are the well-known algorithms, the top, always top, like the most popular ones, right?
okay.
Having said that, there is no limit. If you want, you can explore. And there is a way. Once you have learned one algorithm, you know how to code it. Other algorithm 2, 3, you can learn yourself.
Yes.
Because
That is
they're
the foundation.
similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, foundation, correct.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
like you understood one deep learning algorithm with slight modification, you can also learn another deep learning.
Yes, ma'am.
For
Like,
example,
yes,
ANN you understood, CNN is ANN plus filter.
okay.
Are you getting? So
Yes.
foundation, once it is done, lot of things you can do self-learn.
Okay. Yes.
In brief,
Okay.
show us the course content.
Yes.
Is
The
AI and generative AI both are same?
AI is actually in the demo session I have explained. AI is everything, right? It's a very broad term. Generative AI is a trending right now. It's a branch of AI. Anything that AI means artificial intelligence. So when you are giving intelligence to your machine, that is called AI. And you can use anything, like any mathematical model, any algorithm, which will give the machine some intelligence. Intelligence means what? Pattern. So artificial intelligence means pattern finding. Let me repeat. Artificial intelligence means pattern finding, right? And how to find patterns using math. And now it is not one subject which anybody can teach you. There is no curriculum. It's a very vast term and it's a concept rather than a subject. There are subjects within AI, like machine learning is one subject, neural network or deep learning is another subject, right? Fuzzy logic, soft computing, information retrieval. So these are the subjects. One or more than one or more than 2, 3, 4 combined together, you can build one application, which we call AI application, right? So, I think you're asking generative AI. Generative AI is mostly, it's a branch of artificial intelligence, which is mostly dealing with a lot of applications. So it can be unstructured, mostly unstructured data. Unstructured means what? It can be image or it can be text. If I take text as example, using a lot of deep learning algorithm behind the scene, taking the text data into input, you can build a lot of applications. Generative means giving machine the intelligence to generate things like human. What we are generating? I will write a blog. Thinking, I will write a blog. Code. Thinking the logic, you can write the code. So generative AI means, let's take an example of text data. You take text data and can you translate to another language? Let's say it's a English. Can you translate to French? Machine translation. This is one application of generative AI, right? Speech to text. So I'm talking, whatever I'm talking, can it be converted from speech? Can it be converted to text? That is one application. Summary, text summary. Entire paragraph, can it be summarized in 2 lines? Text summarization. This is one application. Code generation, right? That is one application. So these all combined together, it's called generative AI. Similarly, if you take image data, there are a lot of examples, right? So are you getting? So this is a branch which mostly dealing with deep learning. If you're asking me skill set, mostly deep learning and unstructured data, text and image, right? Ultimately maths, everything behind the scene, it is math. Deep learning is nothing but maths, right? So is it clear? Generative AI is a section of artificial intelligence.
Okay. My company, okay, they're currently looking into this technology, okay. Process. That's why I asked you.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
it's a pretty advanced technique. Nowadays, we are not building the things from scratch. Already, that now one thing is very famous nowadays. You must have heard about this large language models, right? So basically, the trend is, what is the problem? The problem is when you want to create a machine learning model, you need to train your model with huge amount of data. The more data you will give, the more pattern you will understand. I'll give you a simple example. You will understand. You have a 2-year-old baby. Okay. So you have a 2-year-old baby, okay, and you are teaching the baby first time. Yeah, difference between apple and orange. You have shown 2 picture of apple and 1 picture of orange, and you tell this is apple, this is apple, this is orange. Do you think the baby will remember? Maybe, may not be, but if you have shown 10,000 picture of apple, different varieties of apple, 10,000 pictures of orange, then you will ask your baby, what is this picture? Can the baby identify? Where is the probability of identification is more? 10,000 versus 2. Where? 10,000 picture of apple or 2 picture of apple. Which one your baby will remember? 10,000. Why? How our brain remembers? Pattern. So what we are doing is exactly same we are trying to do with the machine, right? So in your brain, we are actually capturing the pattern. Apple means what? You close your eyes and think how apple. What pattern is coming to your mind? Red color, round symbol. That is called pattern. So that is exactly the machine will do. Image means pixel. Pixel means value. Ultimately, every image is what? Tell me, a number. Do you all agree? Every image is a number. If you don't know, I don't know, but you go and check. What is behind the scene? Image means what? Pixel. Pixel means what? Number. So machine, when you train the machine with millions, billions of images, the machine will understand the format. If it is an apple, 121, 120, in this place 121. So this is a pattern of apple. So that in terms of mathematical numbering system, it will remember. So whenever you're showing a picture, it will try to match. The picture pattern is matching with what? That it will predict. This is a small example. So the problem is the more data you will give, the more better pattern it will understand it. You all agree? The more data, the more better pattern. What is the problem? Problem is to train more data, what you need? A very good machine. Do you have very good machine? No. Do the small companies have very good machine? No. Data means trillions, like zettabytes of data. Like I cannot even imagine how much data. Only the giant company like Google, Facebook, they have their own supercomputers. They train their model. So that is what called LLM. So the train, what we are using is not the model that we built from scratch. Already it has been built. Already the pattern has been extracted. The trained model by these companies, we are just using it on our data for testing. In the sense, I'll tell you one example. The baby, you have sent your baby to a daycare. The teacher of the daycare, they have all the equipment. They have trained your baby showing 10,000 apples. Now what you're doing is that trained baby you are using, that is your LLM model. You're just showing the apple and the baby is predicting apple. Are you getting? That is all about the LLM, right? So I think so a lot of things are going on. It's a very good domain. If you really want to come into artificial intelligence, you need to give yourself time. You need to it's a research field and a lot of things you need to go through, right? It will take time. To get a job, it is easy, but to become expert in this domain, you really have to invest your time in learning a lot of things, right? So my suggestion to everyone is if you want to, and there is a great scope. In the coming 10 years, we will be living in an era of artificial intelligence. Everywhere, every domain. IT means Java, Python, how you are using the languages. Everyone will be using AI. There is no specialization. Every IT engineer will be knowing AI. With that, they have to learn something else. That is what my prediction. So it is generic. It is not a specialization anymore. And if you don't know the generic things, you will be left behind. Are you getting? So that is the
So that means Python will also become very important, like
Python is
kind of mandatory.
already Python or any language, that is fine. Language anyway you will learn. But what I'm saying is technology wise, if you're asking, AI is a very generic technique. Now only it is becoming generic. Everyone is learning. Freshers are learning. BTech people are learning. So you have to learn. You don't have any other way, right? If not
Okay.
today, someday you have to learn. And with that, you have to learn something like specialization like MLOps. Ops means, artificial intelligence plus deployment. Or maybe you have to learn data engineering. Are you getting? Or maybe cyber security. So AI plus something else. That is what is coming up in next 10 years. AI is going to be generic. So first you learn the generic things and then you will become like once you're expert in AI, you can choose one thing in AI that you want to expert in. Any one thing. It's very vast. So you enter into it, you will know what is interesting to you. Either it is generative AI or it is computer vision or it is data engineering or it is MLOps or it is whatever. You just pick it and become expert, right? Over the time. Okay.
And one thing
I
I want
think
to ask, like the machine learning models, which are ChatGPT is also helpful in like suppose in web development.
ChatGPT we can use as a tool. That's not a thing, right? Actually, this course is about not this course, but if you are learning artificial intelligence correctly, you can build your own ChatGPT. In fact, in this course also, if possible, I'll show you using LangChain how you can build your own ChatGPT from scratch, right? You will understand the technical things behind ChatGPT. This is the course is like the second project is all about query board. So what I think I should stop the class here because I have another class, and let us connect on Monday. And I'll show you the syllabus on Monday, as well as I will start with Python, right? You make yourself comfortable installing all the software, VS Code, Jupyter Notebook, and from Monday onwards, let us understand more about Python. So 8:30, timing will be 8:30. Okay, Monday. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.